Me llamo es Enrico. Y yo es el juez de Taquienda de Famosos de Peopleoples. So that's who I am. I don't know who you are. In some sense, it matters less, whom you are. No, who you are is correct. And why would it matter less? Because after all, you enjoy the um, privilege of anonymity, of identifying yourself however, whereas I am hosting a YouTube channel. Some people do that anonymously, It's not unheard of. You might do it with a mask on or something. I'm pulling up the live stream on the chat right now. And here it is. Cow and Pia. Okay. Johan Kruyuf, hello. Coneman 3, hello. This is the internet's only YouTube channel. Yes, I am 6'5". How did you know? How did you guess? How did you know? How did you guess? What made you think that? I wonder what best. Or do you think I'm somebody's doppelganger, for example? And so you're like, wait, are you the same height as this guy? And then in which case the answer is yes. Not too tall to pass under doors, correct. I don't have to duck. Whereas that one guy, basketball player, 7'10". That's pretty tall. 7'10". Oh, I do run into these things, though. Little hang down things. So we've got things to do today, and I'm feeling quite motivated, really. I'm not currently on my way to doing anything, but that'll change shortly. Why the Brent oil is going down? I don't know why the Brent oil is going down. I don't even know what that means. My name's Host Eric, and I'm here to say hello, 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 and hey. Hi, D2. You're twice as good as D1 as you should be, given your name. Why did crude oil go down? I don't know why. Hi, Faz has. We're not going to do the thing that's going to be getting done today, right this second. We'll go scout it out, though. How about that? We got a couple things that are going to be done, but I think the first thing that I want to do is move this along, since the hard part is done for the next stage of this. What we have here, let me show you. Or I will show you what we have here. What we have here is a hole in the ground. How did that get there? I dug it with my own hands. That's actually not true. I used this pickaxe and a shovel. But did you see the size of the rock I dug out of this hole? Look at that rock. It's bigger than it looks too, because it goes from here to here. That's a big fucking rock. I could barely pull it out without help, you know. Anyway, these aren't good shoes for climbing around on the hill. They're very bad shoes for that. It feels great to work in the sun. Yeah, I just got to dig out a little bit more of this hole. Let's go look at it more up close now. You can see where the spot where the rock was. It's deeper than like how deep I want the hole, really. But there's not really a problem that it's deep. I think what I'm going to end up doing is making this part of the hole the same depth as that part. And then, you know, letting this be its own two-plant planter, just like this one next to it was its own two-plant planter. And then work on the next bit of trough, which can continue kind of aiming down that way. So eventually this whole trough it'll all drain downhill a little bit, you know. Do be careful and watch your back. That's a good piece of advice Faz has. I'll tell you, I didn't strain my back yesterday when I pulled out that huge rock, but I easily could have. I was like, hurry, with the pickaxe trying to leverage it out, you know. So the crazy thing is, it snowed. A lot of snow, frankly. I mean, not a huge amount of snow, but this was all filled in with snow. Okay? And as far as I can tell, I have like three of these little seedlings survived, possibly a fourth one, which to me is pretty crazy. Because this whole thing was filled with snow. All of this part was filled with snow. But right here is one of them. And it still looks alive to me. Right here is another one. Because this was a couple of days ago with the snow. It's like if it had died in the snow, it would be not green by now, you know. And then here's this one over here. Right there. These two over here I put in just yesterday. So they didn't have to go through the snow. Do I know I ran? I mean, I don't know it biblically. I've never had sex with it. But I know of it. I've never been to Iran. That's the answer to the question, what did you do when the guy pulled the gun? You know. Iran. Iran is a beautiful place. I believe Iran is a beautiful place. I'm sure Iran is a beautiful place filled with beautiful people. But I still don't want to go there. Largely because I just don't like to go anywhere. I like it right here. In the pleasitude of things. Not for much longer. Well, aren't you a negative Nancy? This YouTuber just dug a hole to bury a body on a live stream. Yeah, I do it. I went and did a bunch of email stuff the last couple of days and caught up. I typed a INTJ woman yesterday. Pretty cut and dry case. Who knows, maybe I'll even start promoting it a bit more. I was sort of counter promoting for a while. No, it's not me. I'm not Wolverine. Because I can't make those things stick out of me like that. Sorry, you got the wrong guy. That's the first time I've ever gotten a comparison to Wolverine, too. I've been compared to lots of different people, but I've never gotten Wolverine before. I got this little lazy man's pile growing back here. Cigarette butts. I don't have an ashtray back here. And look what happened when I left my French machete out in the rain. Got all rusty. Thanks a lot, France, for not using stainless steel. Like, why don't you get over your French self already? You expect me to not leave tools out in the rain occasionally? Come on. That's just part and parcel of being Eric. Where is my suit? I don't have a suit. I mean, I do have a suit, I guess. I could throw one together if I had to. Alright, so if we're going to go to garden stuff, we're going to be smart. We're going to do things the smart way, and we're going to be smart about it. We're going to have good TE, just like I did at the hardware store this morning when I asked for takeout help. So they put all the bags of manure into my car so that I didn't have to put them in. That was smart. Why did I do that? Only because I saw somebody else do it right in front of me, you know? She had even way more bags of stuff than we got.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be smart. I'm going to put on socks and shoes. I need to put on the shoes. I want to put on the socks. Because I don't like to wear shoes without socks. This is a sexy putting on a stocking video. Ooh la la. You might say, Eric, that's not a stocking, that's a sock. And I'd have to say to you, touche, sir, you're correct. Touche. Reminds me of that Culture Club song. And touche. Hush, hush. Go away. I remind you of Sparta Man. Well, I don't live a very Spartan lifestyle. I was rooting for the Michigan State Spartans, but they lost. And in their last game against Florida, I think it was. Yeah, I may be a philosopher. Yeah, I am that. But not in some dorky, like, dumbass sense. I'm just correct about things. It's my superpower. All right. Are you ready for some excitement? I think you are. I doubted it for a while, but now I've decided that yes, I think you are ready for some excitement. If I give you the funk, you're going to take it? As famously is said in that Kendrick Lamar song, King Kunta. The last stage will bring some of these little seedlings out, but before we even dream of bringing any little seedlings out, let's dig out the rest of the hole as much as it needs to be dug out. That seems like a pretty good view. But I guess there's no reason why you couldn't get in a little closer. No, we couldn't. Put this down here. Okay. This reminds me though. I need to put on at least a left glove. Cause I found out yesterday I got blister right here around my wedding ring. So, let me see if I can find a pair of gloves. A lot of caterpillars going on right now in Mariposa, which means butterflies. So, appropriately. There's 3 of them right there. You can see they're all over the fucking place, though. There's a little teeny one. See all those caterpillars? Is this locked? Good. Okay, now. Alright, while I'm here, I'll clean the cat box. Cats always have more shit for me, Take your ring off? Well, I would, but right now it would hurt to take it off because there's a blister on this side of it. There's a blister on either side of it. So it's best to just leave it where it is. That's what I'm thinking. Wait, this way. Okay, that was a relatively easy cat box cleaning. Here are my gloves, right where they're supposed to be. That's nice for a change. And being where they're supposed to be, where I expect them to be, instead of, oh, God, where did I move that thing to? These are nice, comfortable gloves, too. Now, I'm going to open the big door because I think when I pushed that, I knocked a couple of caterpillars on the ground, I think. I see a couple on the ground right there. But they may have already been there. Sorry guys, the garage door is not a good place for you to be. You're gonna be definitely dislodged frequently if you're on the garage door. Hi Daniel, Barry Sports Highlights, and happy Saturday to you as well. As we bring over the big pusher to once again be smart. Pretend we're like the people at the hardware store. Instead of carrying heavy bags with your arms, put them on a pusher. Last time, of course, I carried all these bags over there one at a time with my arms. I'm only going to put two at a time because if this is not a super, like, regular surface exactly, it's got these rocks, you know, instead of, like, the driveway. See the rocks? But you know, it still works just fine like that. So, close this up for now and put off getting the other bags until after I've dug the hole. Driveway does constitute a super regular surface. Okay. Now, oh no, you be careful about that. So, the best way to dig this hole is to first poke it up with this end of things, then char it up with this end of things, then scoop it out with a shovel. Okay. I wish I could remember my son's name. I remember my daughter's name for la legally, but I don't remember my son's name. I know it starts with Gur. So let me scoop out this part, and then I'll go at it with the poker part again. Scoop. 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 Okay. Now, let's go at it with this. All right, that's about good enough. I'd like to chop that root. That root. All right. Good enough, Eric. You aren't burying a body. You don't need it to be that deep. All right. So, take a little break before we pour the dirt. Wee-hoo. Whew. Now that's a lot of bananas. Hi Purple Haze, hi Germany. I'm planting weed right now actually, but not Purple Haze. Got a few different strains in the mix here. Durban Poison, London Pound Cake. Got some I don't remember all the things I got this year. I just got the strains. I got 5 different strains this year. I got 5 strains last year too. Not sure what's left from last year's. All right. That's good enough. I'm not super winded. Let's get these 2 bags. Get these 2 bags into the hole. And then we'll probably need a couple more bags maybe just for this hole because it's so deep because that big ass rock came out of here. Oops. Well, that hole is definitely deeper than it needs to be. But that's just fill it around. We got a couple more bags of dirt. I'll be right back. Damn. This is a big ass hole. I think it's going to take another 2 cubic feet of dirt. It'll take 6 of the 8 bags of dirt I just got. That rock is the one. Curse it, you boulder. I paused to show you guys a big scary looking spider. Wow. I can't find him again. He really blends in well with this stuff. Oh well. No such luck for you. You don't get to see the big spider after. Oh, there he goes. He just had to move, and then he moved. Okay. Now this time I want you to really look with your eyes, okay? Instead of your feelings like usual. Where did he go? That sneaky bastard. Well, I guess I blue-balled you again on the big spider. Sorry. Sorry for being a spider tease like that. I'm going to start saying sorry like Canadians, like Dan Aykroyd. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, golly gee, I'm sorry about that. And we're going to take a gander at this process here. Now, pretend all of this time here doesn't exist, and then just cut ahead to now. I'll tell you when now. And action! There, isn't that better when you don't have to watch the in-between part? Okay, that's fine, I guess. We'll put some water on this. So that it's wet when we plant it. Okay, we just leave that hose on in there and let that run for a while. Fill up the top section with water. Bottom section, this is their first day in, so I watered them by hand, making sure they got thoroughly wet. This is actually a relatively warm day. They'll dry out rather quickly. But I'm going to have to admit that this system has got a ways to go before it works, where water just comes down here. But I'll leave it on for a while. We'll see what happens. I mean, you don't want to roll that way, right? But I think I've got designed so it'll end up coming this way anyway. Keep that little wall out. Let me try turning up the hose a bit higher. Okay, now the hose is on full blast over here. Like that hole there. Ideally, it goes all the way down there. It's going to take a little bit more engineering before it does that. Still, good start. Butt stain? Do I have butt stain? I'm sure I do. I actually answer to butt stain. It's one of my names. So innately butt stain am I. That respond to it as though it were my given name. Yeah. Good way for child Eric to deal with name calling. Like somebody yelling at me, "You are a shitbag," or whatever. I'd say, "Ah, shitbag. Yes, indeed. Bag filled with shit. Nothing but poop, excrement, feces. Caca, as they say in Mexico, if you'll excuse colloquial Spanish." I'm sure they feel a little bit unsure what to do in response to that. Well, it does seem to be coming down this way. Does the water. I don't know if it's going to get past here into there or not, but I'm going to plant into here before I worry about that anyway. But first, let's go have a little bit of a bevy inside, and maybe a refreshing bong rip or two, and then or give the hose a little bit of time to do its hose stuff. My name's Butt Stain Stinkerface. I come from the Stinkerface family. A long line of Stinkerfaces. Bustin' Timberlake. It's a Chinese knockoff of Justin Timberlake. Hello, I am Bustin' Timberlake. You like my garden? Thanks. The keyboard's over there. Meow. On top of the table. All right, we were originally Stinker Feces. We changed it at Ellis Island to be more Americanized. Stinker Face. It was Stinker Faces and we dropped the S. Well, I did some of the things already. I did an important couple of things. Rachel and I went to town. Mm-hmm. We got Thanksgiving sandwiches. We went to the hardware store, got a belt sander that I needed, and also some steer manure. Came back here, finished digging out the 2 big hole, and then filled it in with 4 cubic feet of steer manure blend. It's still not exactly all the way filled up, but it's good enough. Yeah, I had to get a belt sander because of this sticker wallpaper border thing in the bathroom of the other house. And that's like incredibly difficult to get off of the wall, you know? And so I was saying to the guy, he wouldn't believe how stubborn this thing is to get off. I go out of an orbital sander all day and hardly anything comes off, you know? I didn't say that part, but I said, you wouldn't believe how stubborn this thing is to get off, you know? He said, oh, no, I would. I bet it was circa 70s, early 80s that they put it up there. I'm like, yep, 81. They really went hardcore with the adhesives, I guess, back in 81. Gee. You wet it with some hot waters. Well, I got it out Sanders, so that should solve that problem. And I plan later today to go over and do the belt sanding part. So then I got tomorrow and Monday to deal with touch-up paint. No, we don't have any asbestos. lead paint? No, I don't think so. Who, Rachel? I don't know who Rachel is. This is Rachel.
Hi.
But there's no second A in her name.
Yeah.
She's a 1A Rachel.
I'm a 1A Rachel, is right.
Regardless, I got one of those masks with the things on the side, so it's going to be fine. I'm not going to inhale any of the dust. I got mask, I got eye protection, the whole 9 yards. And I'll put we didn't buy lead paint though. Yeah, I'm sure it really is the best quality paint. Nevertheless, glow in the dark paint. My knee is really throbbing fluorescent blue tonight, isn't it? Don't like regular paint? Try glow in the dark paint. It's just as painful, but in a more cheerful hue. No, I didn't buy a really cool painter set. I'm going to be done with all the work I'm going to be doing over there pretty soon. Oh, you told me my son's name? I remember my daughter's name. I could never forget that. Fa legally. But I guess I am biased in favor of girls because I can't quite remember my son's name. What is this? Oh, Justin Timberlake Senorita, huh? Henry Morgan, hey, how are you doing? Oh, it's Gerfarmalatarn. Right. Gerfarmalatarn. It's easy to understand why I forgot his name. It's a difficult one to remember. Gerfarmalatarn. Yeah. It's hard to say, too. Gerfarmalatarn Strauss. Gerfarmalatarn. Fa la 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 legally.
Mm-hmm.
Come down here, please. Like, you have to think about it before you say your children's names every time. Is my orphan son also retarded? He has on again, off again retardation. It's in remission sometimes, and sometimes it's acting up, like my retardation. Can Gert Farmy come out to play today? I'm going to say, hey, we don't use any nicknames in this household. If you want Gerfarmalatarn to come out to play, you're going to need to ask me if Gerfarmalatarn can come out to play. But I can't say Gerfarmalatarn. Too bad, little kid. Get out of here. I need a farmhand. I don't need a farmhand. I have 2 farmhands right here. Has my son gotten any puani yet? No punani? No, he's still a little baby. He's only like 3 years old.
Yeah.
He's just 1 year older than fa la 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 legally. I forgot that he was a born butler. Mother, father, I, Grandfather, would like to present you with this small token of my appreciation. Some finger sandwiches and tea. Baba says hi, Rachel.
Hello. Hi, Baba.
Baba Raymond Martins. I think my son will turn out to be asexual, just, the perfect asexual butler.
How nice.
Yeah. Whereas my daughter will turn out to be a huge OnlyFans slut.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's because Rachel didn't raise her
Oh,
right.
wow. I'm sorry. I feel,
I'm just kidding, darling. You did a beautiful job of raising Falala legally.
Thank you.
I don't know why she turned out that way. Probably because she's an ESFP.
Well, that would explain it.
Yeah. Oh, they both became attorneys? The butler boy didn't become a butler? No, I did not bet on sports. Tonight's basketball games. We've got number 1 versus number 1, and number 1 versus number 1. It's easy to remember who's playing. All 4 1 seeds. Oh, did they? They opened up a practice. Well, yes, but after the practice became successful, which was very, very quickly, Gerfarmal went back to his passion, which was buttling. Well, Gerfarmal is a butler, and Falala legally is an OnlyFans slut. She was always a wild girl, though. It's neither of our faults.
True.
She got her first tattoo at age 6. She said, "Can I go over to the neighbor's house to play?" We thought, sure, go ahead. She came back with a tattoo of an eagle right on her left pectoral muscle. That's how nuts this girl was. When she was 7, I caught her hot railing meth with some teenagers down the street. By then, she had many, many more tattoos, of course. I said, "Falala legally? What are you doing? I never dreamed my 7-year-old daughter would be hot railing meth and not invite me." She's not ever answered the question about how old she was when she first had the ew. But I'm assuming it was on the too young side. Ah-cha-cha-cha-cha. That was an ah-cha-cha-cha-cha joke. That was like a textbook sitcom kind of joke, you know? Of course, the joke's on us because who's the richest one of all right now? All legally.
Wow, really?
Yeah. She makes shit tons on OnlyFans.
Oh, that's true.
Gerfarmal, he invested wisely from his brief success as a lawyer, and now he's just enjoying being a butler. If I were a textbook sitcom, what would my room entering catchphrase be? "Oh no, here come that boy again!" What do you think about that for me, no?
I like
That's what I'd say about myself. "Whoa, whoa, whoa, here come that boy again!" I'll point to myself like this. And then they'd freeze frame. What about you, Acacia? Would it be, this is me yelling? Whatever your catchphrase would be, nobody would hear it. If you ever catch Acacia screaming at somebody, they must have really just made the most monumental fuck up in the history of the world. No, Arthur Morgan. I'm from the delightfully lush Sierra Nevada mountains here near Yosemite in California. Acacia, she talks. You just got to be sitting right next to her if you want to hear her. I tell you what, let's go enjoy a Marlboro Red in the fineness of the outdoors. And, well, that's a reasonable thing to think here around, but, you know, given your cognitive function configuration. Do my cats like hamburgers? Trouble does. Trouble likes hamburger patty a lot. He likes bacon a lot too. He's not a dumb cat. Capi has a much more picky eater. She doesn't really like anything except for cat food. He never once comes over and asks for anything either. Trouble, every time we got food, doesn't matter what it is, he's coming over to ask to at least lick it a few times. But they both go apeshit for those treats that Winston's mom got them. What did I do with that? Oh, I gave them some earlier this morning, which is why I was thinking of it. Okay. It's cooler here in the garage. I think it's actually time we might need to turn on the air conditioning. Maybe just the vent, the fan, you know. But the air temperature outside is nice. It's just standing in the sun, it feels a little warm. They're called Temptations. And you got like a 6-pack of them or something. They, like all their different flavors. The cats love every single one of their flavors. Shit tons. So whatever it is that they put in it that the cats love so much, they must put that same thing in each of the flavors. Yes, well, they go apeshit for it because they love it shit tons. They have shit tons of love for it, which is a lot of love. It's considerably more than a metric ton of love. All right, I left the water running in the back. So, I'm going to go ahead now and set down this cigarette. I didn't do the thing I wanted to do. I'm going to set down this cigarette so that I can go inside the house, get a couple of seedlings, and we're going to go plant them in the newly dirted hole. Your newly dirted hole definitely sounds a little dirty, but it's not in this case. Perfectly innocent expression. How many buttloads in a shit ton? I'd say there are 10 buttloads in a shit ton. And there are 10 crop loads. No, wait, there are 10 buttloads in a crop load. 10 crop loads in a shit ton. And 10 shit tons in a megaturd? I'm not sure. The neighbors look like they're having fun, playing some music. All right. Let's take these two. Don't let that fall. That's a new phone. That's how you broke your old phone, Eric. Take a couple of these seedlings, the most developed ones, which are, come on, we're supposed to break 3. There. Do these two. We'll take these 2 seedlings and we'll go outside. I'm dripping some dirt water on the floor, but that's okay. Well, let's see how much the water is gone. Okay, well, it's gone all the way down to there. It's making its way onto that one, so that's good. I don't need to water that way right now. I just want to seed in operation. I do need to water this. Make sure this is nice and wet. Alright. I think with this hole being so deep, I could probably do 3 seedlings in here. This is 4 cubic feet of steer manure. So I guess that's what I'll do. There. Now I need to get one more seedling. I need to get one more seedling and plant that in there, and then we'll be done with that for today. The other thing is going to be time to go over to the other house. Five buttloads equals 1 cornucopia. I see. And I guess half a crop load is what'd you say it was? All right. Half a crop load is a cavalcade. I'm definitely going to turn off the heater. It's actually quite a comfortable temperature in here, but we definitely don't need the heater on. Not that it's doing anything at the moment, because the thermostat set at 68, and the actual temperature in here is 69. Well, actually not as warm as I thought it was. So just ignore all that, I guess. Still, I'm glad I turned it off. Alright. Let's go with you. Let's go with you, Mr. Curly Bottom. Why is it called Mr. Curly Bottoms? Because it doesn't just shoot straight up, it's got like a curly bottom. Of course, it's a girl, so I shouldn't call it Mr. Curly Bottoms. I should call it Miss Curly Bottoms. Once it starts budding, then it becomes Mrs. Curly Bottoms. Or I could just call it Ms. Curly Bottoms. But that's dumb. Oh, wow. Like there's just no roots to this at all. It's just this little thing. Okay, well. Good luck, little guy. Hope you survive. If not, I'll put another seedling in your place. And then I'll curve this trough here this way. Straighten it out again. Hopefully my little guys are doing fine. I'm going to wait a few days to see exactly how many of my initial plants in the first trough survived the snow. And then I can actually put another seed or two in there possibly. My little guys. Good time. Hello, how are you? Oh, I love your profile. No, that's not your profile picture. Is that sound? What is that? Is just something you put there? Do you have that as one of your available emojis? I didn't know that was an emoji. That's a good emoji. All right, let's pull a couple of refreshing bong rips. Yes, they can. I've grown a hermaphrodite before. I know that's not the answer you want, but yes, they can. The interesting thing about hermaphrodites is they seed themselves. So they have buds, but they're incredibly full of seeds. But all the seeds are female. That's how they feminize seeds. So yes, a marijuana plant can be transgender, but it only has female babies.
Oh.
You have to tell me something? Well, I want to know what that is. The guy who just loves the art eon. Gerformalatarn? No, he's asexual. That's different. He's like Ken. He just has no sex organs. Okay, well, I can't promise to keep it secret since you're saying it on a live stream, but I'll remember that you want it kept secret. Oh, you love the Arteon. But what is the Arteon? No, he can't reproduce. Well, he can, but only as a surrogate mother. Hoodie Cat posts the following joke. How many orphans does it take to change a light bulb? Obviously more than 3 because my basement is still dark. As a surrogate mother. I did not know that. The guy who just loves the Arteon. It's a perfect beginner car and a family car. Wow. It's perfect small size roadster and large size SUV. It has massive tires and very small ones. They're both very wide, very thin, very tall, and very short. Let's get one. I agree, Acacia. Come on, everybody. Let's go get an Arteon. Right now. What have we been doing this whole time? Not getting an Arteon? Crazy of us. What's for dinner? Well, Rachel and I had Thanksgiving sandwiches for lunch.
Yeah.
Not that long ago. I might eat the other half of my... Well, I didn't get my Adderall. They had to refer me to a psychiatrist. All right, well, you can talk to the psychiatrist and tell him, look, I want to get Adderall. Psychiatrist might be receptive to, I want to get Adderall, and I'd like to jump through as few hoops as possible, please. I don't think that you do counseling. They're not going to make you do counseling. Well, what you should tell the psychiatrist is this. Look, I know I need the stuff, and if he starts giving you a bunch of pushback, then let's just say, look, I know I need the stuff, and currently, the way I see it, doctors are nothing but an impediment to actual solutions, which are provided by big pharma. So, could you stop being such an impediment to my solution?
Ooh.
That's going to sting any psychiatrist because they're not predicating their decisions on physical tests. What's a Thanksgiving sandwich? Oh, it's this sandwich that we get at this local sandwich place called Short Stop Sandwiches. That is a turkey sandwich, but it's got cranberry sauce on it. It's not technically called a Thanksgiving sandwich. This is what we call. You got your Wellbutrin back. That's good. I really like Wellbutrin. It's it does more effectively what Adderall is supposed to do, but it's less fun. Like it's not. I'm not slacked out at all. I'm just well beat up, and it's like, all right, well, get the next thing done. It kind of puts me in that kind of state of mind. I don't sit still and consume stuff well on Wellbutrin. Whereas if that's what I'm into doing at the moment, I can do that for hours on Adderall. I think the magic combo for me is 4 or 5 Wellbutrin and 1 Prozac. And I feel like, wow, look at me. Making me wanted. Oh, I should have got seeds at the hardware store. Now the Blue Jay's here to make me feel guilty. Maybe he wants more cat food. All right, I can put out some more cat food, okay? Maybe the squirrels don't like cat food, but Blue Jays will. Is Prozac good for depression? Hold on a sec. Well, all the cat food I put out the other day is gone, so something's eating it. So, yeah, it is true that everybody's different, but my experience with Prozac is that when I was depressed, Wellbutrin reduced the frequency of my negative self-talk, and Prozac made me care less about it. So they both helped with my depression in different ways. For Acacia, she says she's never helped at all by either Wellbutrin or Prozac. And the question also is, what exactly constitutes depression? Like, I never diagnosed myself, nor was I ever told a diagnosis of depression before um, I. You know what's actually helpful for the mania phase of bipolar? Adderall. Rachel doesn't need any of her sleeping drugs when she takes Adderall. She just waits for the dopamine crash. And she goes right to sleep. So I thought about alcohol when we were dealing with her actually going through a manic phase. I think I maybe even got her to drink a little bit of it, but I don't know. She smoked shit tons of weed. Just never made her any less manic and just continued to spiral. So she needed was a nice benzo, like a couple Klonopins, or some Adderall of all things. Because something about mania, it must be dopamine triggering, like it must be it must be its own kind of dopamine reuptake inhibitor. Acacius is never really a good solution, but it is conceivable that booze could be a, immediate short-term solution to somebody who's in a manic phase and is unable to go to sleep. They might be able to drink themselves to sleep. I don't know. I have this tape on here from. I got this tape in the car to stabilize this when I'm making videos in the car. I got to tape the legs or something, otherwise it'll tilt over and stuff. Oh, I believe it does. I just don't think it's a very good solution. But, for me. But for anybody, there's the issue of hangovers, right? Ideally, you have a solution that doesn't involve a hangover. Of course, that's only an issue if you get hangovers. But anybody who drinks a decent amount eventually starts getting hangovers. Well, I mean, that's not why they tell you it's a bad idea, though. They also tell you that cigarettes are bad for you. It's not because they can't make money off of nicotine. It's because cigarettes actually are bad for you. Just as so is alcohol. Most intoxicants are going to be bad for you in some way. Alcohol is bad for your liver in particular. And if you don't drink too much, then it's not really bad for you. But it's certainly not good for you. Just like cigarettes, if you don't smoke too much and you don't, which would make you be more likely a COPD, and you don't have the genetic predisposition to cancer, then you're probably fine. But it's still not true that cigarettes are healthy. Seroquel knocks you out good. You take Seroquel, but it gives you restless legs. I mean, Rachel, you used to be on Seroquel, right? Mm-hmm. What are you being medicated for exactly, big dog? Like, what's your diagnosis? Seroquel's something that makes you sleep a lot. I think it might technically be a antihistamine, or is that one of the other ones? I don't remember that much about the drugs Rachel used to be on because she's been off of those and on the correct drugs for such a long time now. Yeah. Currently, she's on just 3 things: Prozac, olanzapine, and Klonopin. And that makes her sane as a whistle.
Yeah.
Right, well, yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't have them at all. I can tell when she's going off the rails, but it hasn't happened in a long time. But there were occasions when she'd like not take her Prozac for a week or two, and I'd be like, "What's going on with you?" She would be like, "I guess I need to take my Prozac." Mm. I can think of a few occasions that's occurred, but
okay.
Yeah, it's fine, of course, because we have the solution. It's like it's fine for you to get a little crazy because we have a solution to it.
Yeah.
It's like it's fine for you to have asthma if you have a rescue inhaler.
Sure.
It's a big problem to have asthma if you don't have a rescue inhaler.
Yeah.
You take Busperoni for anxiety. Well, here's the thing. I found that while the Wellbutrin did a good job of reducing the frequency of my negative self-talk, it also gave me anxiety. That's why um, that's why I take the Prozac. Well, I have Prozac with the Wellbutrin, then the Wellbutrin doesn't cause anxiety. I don't know if the Wellbutrin causes anxiety. When Rachel gets mad, does she get a bunch of shit done? Not shit that's worth doing.
No.
She gets, you know, crazy eyed and crazy um like her happy's too happy, and it's got an edge to it where she can turn nasty at a moment's notice, not towards me necessarily, but towards the world. No, you can't meow your way out of it. Trust me, G. I may have had those kind of Dunning-Kruger thoughts about bipolar mania before I experienced it firsthand, but I am no longer that dumb about it. You cannot meow your way out of it with a variety of alternatives. And if it's properly medicated, it's the difference between having cancer and being in full remission. Ketamine's hard to get. Is it good? Yeah, it's great. Well, I mean, that's a great antidepressant. Get a different doctor. If you can afford it, get an online doctor that you choose yourself. Everyone cracks at some stage. What does that mean? You don't stay crazy? I mean, I thought so that too. I was thinking, look, how long can this woman stay awake? I'm just gonna kind of stay out of her way, and I mean, you should look for a doctor. Doctors that prescribe ketamine therapy for depression. Google that. Right. Well, you need to tell them what I was just saying, which was to tell them, which is, look, I know what I need and what the solution to my problem is. Or I know what I would like to at least try out as a solution to my problem. Big Pharma has a variety of solutions that I can try out to see what works. But there's this middleman called doctors that seem to serve solely as an impediment to me getting my medical solutions. Can we have a different experience than I usually have this time? I mean, it's like we should look for that too. We should look for a doctor that, by Googling, we wanted to get prescribed ketamine. I don't know if I really, it's like the pharmacy there is already giving us so many drugs. I think they're going to look kind of funny at us if we're getting ketamine too.
Yeah.
But, well, that's fine, Caroline. I understand that. To be fair, they're held accountable for the drugs they prescribe. You can say to them, I understand that you're held accountable for the drugs you prescribe, but I'm the one who experiences either solvency or the lack thereof. I'm the one who lives with the problem until I can convince somebody to try something else. And the issue here, obviously, would not be such a big deal if there weren't criminal implications related to, if it weren't scheduled, right? I know a person who's currently fighting just to get basic treatment, got a twist doctor here to get a damn MRI even. It depends what kind of insurance you have, I'm sure, for that kind of thing. But if you're trying to pay out of pocket, then no problem, right? If you have insurance, you run into problems like Hero Lamb's friend. If you have insurance, or if you have, no insurance, but you want the government to pay for it or something, then you have to twist all kinds of ears and jump through all kinds of hoops. If you can afford it to pay for what you want to get, then it should be not that difficult to get what you want to get. It's risky for them to prescribe controlled substances because of a high chance of misuse. Well, I know there's a high chance of misuse. I'm going to misuse it according to their definition of what the appropriate use is. But especially with somebody like me, I clearly know what I'm doing with drugs. And I'm clearly not going to blame anybody else, no matter what happens with the drugs I do. My doctor doesn't take insurance, which is why I was very mad at him when he started being hoopy with me. And I took him behind the woodshed in our last conversation. I still feel guilty about it. But, what can I say? He fucked up. It's the government, not the docs. Well, I mean, my doc tried to pull that shit on me too. So, and what's up with my head, right? What is a doctor going to do with my actually true story? A month ago or whatever, 2 months ago, I freaked out about my doctor because Wellbutrin he prescribed caused sexual dysfunction, and he didn't want to prescribe me Viagra. So I freaked out about him about all that stuff. I explained to him how Wellbutrin makes me feel car sick. I cannot take more than 2 of them under any circumstances, or else I'm just like laid out. I feel so car sick. All of which was true. All of that was true. None of which is currently true anymore. Now I take pop 4 or 5 Wellbutrins. I love it. Also, they make me horny, and I don't need Viagra anymore. So at first, the Wellbutrin killed my sex drive and my ability. Now, it seems to increase both. What is my doctor supposed to do with this story, right? But the last time I talked to you, you told me the exact opposite shit about everything. Right. I ain't going to blame no one. I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to blame anybody else for my decisions. It's insane that we live in a world where people think that you're going to blame them for your decisions. I will blame other people for their decisions. It's like psychiatrists are just this tax on your drugs, right? You have to pay a doctor tax. Well, I mean, if you're willing to pay for Dr. Ingram, he does specialize in prescribing, scheduled drugs and shit. Neighbors are playing music, sounding pretty good. You guys hear that? The good doctors got fed up and sold out, and now work under somebody else. Yes, we do have booze. I got a big bottle of white wine at the store. I'm kind of undecided about whether I want to go over there, I guess. If I want to, I could just wait till they're done playing and clap, And I'm sure be like either, oh yeah, come on over, or actually this is a formal practice. It's possible too. Yeah, we got a big bottle of Gallo white wine, because white wine ultimately is the best deglazer. You can try other kinds of alcohol. Beer's not alcoholic enough. And alcohol, well, it can catch fire if it's hot. If the pan's really hot and you put like gin in it, it'll catch fire, and at which point it kind of defeats the purpose of deglazing. I'm not worried about it like starting a fire. I'm just saying it'll burn off, right? So white wine is really the ideal thing for cooking. Red wine is useful if you're making stews and soups and shit, but generally you can cook anything with some white wine. If you're anything in a frying pan, you can put some white wine in there with it. It's not going to change the taste of it dramatically, but it'll let you keep the pan deglazed. And cigarettes are worse than anything else, bro, for real. I don't think so. I think the danger of them is greatly exaggerated. After all, I've been smoking them for a long time. Every day, all day. It would be fun to go play with the neighbors for a bit. But on the other hand, well, it's true, Big Dog 13.5, that COPD is a problem. And it's also true that no, I can't hike up a hill without getting tired and out of breath. But I have noticed that since I started digging those holes, I've gotten more in cardiovascular shape. Little exercise here and there gets me kind of back in shape pretty quick. I agree that cigarettes are bad for you. I'm not trying to say they're not. You know what? I should just open these curtains sometimes. Like during the day. I just never think of opening them. We all gonna end up on an oxygen machine. You know? Hey, 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 hey. Ain't nobody gonna escape that now. Hey, 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 hey. That's old black man. Okay, well, I think we all know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's belt sanding time. I think I'd want to quit. Or I did quit fairly recently for like 5 or 6 months or something. I don't remember exactly how long. And I replaced it with a vape. And yes, the vape it had much less impact on my shortness of breath and stuff, right? But I didn't like it at all. And one day I was in a bad mood and stuff, and I quit smoking. I quit quitting cigarettes. But since that time, which was quite a while ago, I've I've come through some mental health stuff, and I'm on the other side of it. And I imagine I might try quitting cigarettes again. It's kind of a dirty habit, these cigarette butts I got to deal with. I, I didn't miss that. Yeah, well, that is one way to go, Keisha. That is one way to go. Because, they're called depends for a reason. It's because they're dependable. Personally, instead of wearing a diaper, I just go with a panty shield. I've got a panty shield right now. It shields my penis from my pants. Do you want to go with me?
You going to another house? Yeah.
Cool. So let me get the thing out of the car. I need to do that. I gotta get the belt sander. Okay. So if I can get the sanding done today, which I should be able to now without too much difficulty, and there's not a lot of it to sand if you have a reasonable rate of sanding going on. Their banjo playing friend is good.
Yeah.
He's a good banjo player. Okay. Put this here. Put this here. We're gonna put down these legs all the way. And then you can sit in the middle. And have your own seatbelt and everything. Won't that be fun for you? Yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
There. Oh, I need to get the keys. Can't drive the little wilderness car without keys. Oh, okay. You know what else I want to get?
What?
I want to join Rachel in High Tea Town.
Nice.
Do you want a cough syrup too? You want
Yeah.
to slam a cough syrup and then sip
Why
that?
not? Yeah.
I'll slam a cough syrup and sip one of those too.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, here comes the mailman. Okay. Got something for everyone.
Oh, cool.
Just gonna sit right here.
Okay.
And this bill from PG&E is gonna look enormous, but we'll pay that bill minus 300 because we paid that other one. It's just haven't gotten them that yet because
It just went through.
oh, it did just go through. Well, they probably sent that mail out before the last
they
month's
did.
bill went through. So it's probably going to tell us the bill's huge, but that's just because we mailed it out so late.
So should I subtract by what we paid?
Yeah, we'll go through it together.
Okay.
I'm going to hit this now. Oh, that's right. It's going to be a little bit tricky to open. Rachel just opens hers right away with no problem.
There's a thing.
Where?
I think there's like a part that like. Got it.
I did get it. Cheers. Oh, you're looking backwards. Why are you guys looking backwards? Turn around already. Forwards is this way. Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't do it, Eric. This is glass. We'll wait till we get home for the throwing this one away.
Well, no, it's not.
Oh, you're not done?
No.
You're slow gardening that.
Yeah. It's almost done. Hold on. It's a lot for me to take at once.
It's not that yucky. It's just kind of cough syrupy. Let's go.
Let's go.
Before we die of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Let that happen.
Alright, for those of you who are not familiar, there will be a short interlude of disconnectivity before we reconnect with the other house. Because she was just delivering the mail right there. And mailman woman. I refuse to say mail carrier. It's like That's not what those people are called, okay? My SI tells me they're called mailmen. So, if you don't want them to be called mailmen, you're just gonna have to suck it.
Good.
Alright, so the sanding should not take very long. Painting tomorrow will take considerably longer. Now that I have a belt sander, we should be on our way to victory. Right tool for the right job. A TE value worth having and sharing. Don't spend 4 hours doing something that can take you 15 minutes if you have the right tool. Open, says me. Can you grab that?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's cold in here.
Yeah, it is.
Let's turn on the heater for a second or two. So she said to put that back in.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna help you with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I knew there was something else I had to get at the hardware store. What did I forget
I
about?
don't know what.
Drapery hardware.
Oh.
But that's fine. I don't need that for today. That's on schedule for Monday. I've got sanding for today. Sanding and sanding cleanup, ideally. And I've got... Oh, wait, no, I left it over here. Good. And I got painting on schedule for tomorrow, which includes all my little touch-ups and stuff that I got to do, which are plenty around here. And then I've got... in fact, I'd like to get a really small paintbrush for small touch-ups, but... Okay. Painting's on schedule for tomorrow. Drapes are on schedule for Monday. Drapes and moving furniture back. And for general last ditch cleanup. I need to get that paint off the floor. Well, it's just pictures, you know. It doesn't need to be perfect for pictures because he's going to not show, to take pictures of the parts that are imperfections. Right. So this says it captures a lot of the dust too. That would be nice.
That is good.
I'm going to put this on now. It goes like this. And then this one goes like this. And goes around the back like that. Now where are my go blades? Let's look for my goggles. I'll have to take them off in the bathroom. And I'm gonna leave you with Rachel because obviously you're not gonna want to hear a belt sander. Okay, orbital sander, you were useless for this task, but maybe there'll be another task someday where I need you. In the meantime, you can just go back in the living room. Oh, these brushes are like immediately fogging up. Alright, I'll leave you in Rachel's capable hands. And if you get tired of streaming, Rachel, don't be afraid to just say wrap it up if you want. Okay?
Okay.
But before I get any of this, I'm gonna drink this thing. I'm gonna drink one of these now.
Yeah. And then we got cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a refreshing high tea. High lemonade, I guess.
It is. Is it okay if I stop streaming?
Go for it. See you all later, everybody. We love you. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. Where's the stop streaming? There it is.